they still gotta play us. Let's go, baby. Woo!
Hey, don't run that ball on the one Hubbard, showed you how that go down. Feeling like Santino, tell him we want all the smoke now. We ain't snooping that commercial, we don't put no smoke down. Plus we back and you can't hide, so it ain't nowhere safe to go now. We always gon' turn up in that jungle every time. How we ain't gon' win when we loaded in with 9? Plus T just came in signed, so the city gon' be fine. Jamar say he open every time and he ain't never lied. Look at how we win at it, the size of the old line. Giving Burrow extra time should be a federal crime. Hey, we right back on that path again. Put the division back to the test, they won't pass again. Orlando and Trent Brown, that's the Tower Twins. Feel like we only getting better as we stacking wins.
And we stacking.
Giuseppe in for 6, that's a gritty again. AFC North battles getting gritty again. It's Yoshi second year, we just brought Burton in. Vaughn back to ring some bells, get the cracking again.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of some of the best wings around. That's right, it's Midwest's best barbecue and creamery. Get out there, Orange Corner Avenue exit, get you some Dillinator wings, some CTB wings, some G-Funk, award-winning G-Funk wings. Tell Tim and Nicole I sent you. Put it this way, I'm still waiting for the BSG statue out there because he is the mascot, I would say, of Midwest Best. But let's leave your head there. Get out to Midwest Best. Also, the show is brought to you by Meyer Windows and Doors. Check them out at www.meyercincinnati.com for all your window and door needs. I got them in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. Also, my West Side peeps, go check out Hail Mary's, your ticket to the game. Trade a heart of Cheviot. Big-ass TV screen, beer specials, free parking, food trucks. It's an awesome, awesome place, right? Like I said, right in the heart of Cheviot. And if you guys missed it last night, you missed the rock star, Gabby. You guys say Italiano. Sorrentino from Fox 19. She joined me and Joe Farsi for 2 hours last night down there live at the Moreland Lager House. It was an awesome, awesome time. I highly recommend you guys join us next Tuesday. Like I said, happy hour starts at 3, goes till 9. 3 to 9, which means $5 drafts, house wines, well drinks, and $2 off appetizers. You can't beat it. It's one of the best deals in the city. Speaking of one of the best deals in the city for tailgates, it's Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell at the Moreland Lager House pregame experience. It's 3 hours before every Bengals home game. It's only $75, people. Now, look, I understand if you go to the parking lots and you guys bring your own beer and stuff. I'm more talking to the people who go to the banks and spend a whole bunch of money at different bars and restaurants and stuff there, which you can do that, but you can come to one spot with a DJ. You got me. I do my live show there starting about 10 o'clock, or, you know, if it'll be earlier because Sunday night, or later because Sunday night, this next home game. Anyway, come down there, $75. You spend that on, I don't know, 4 drinks at the banks. You get as many drinks as you want. Open bar, 2 of the best words in the English language. You get mixed drinks. You get beer. You get delicious Moreland Lager beer. You get a food spread. They have shrimp there, people. Shrimp. That's pretty good. It's pretty expensive for $75. Chicken wings, sliders, all kinds of cool stuff. Again, it's Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell at Moreland Lager House, a pregame experience. Go to the Moreland Lager House social media pages. Come to mine. The links are all over the place on there to order tickets. Get your tickets, and let's have some fun. And we're going to watch the Bengals go on a 10-game winning streak. At least I hope, anyway. We'll see what happens. What's up to everybody in the chat? Brad's in there, Chan's in there, Stranger's in there, Kevin's in there, and Brad is in there again. What is going on, guys? Glad you were able to join me a little earlier. Now, I'm supposed to have Graham Ashcraft on. He told me Monday he would come on. I haven't heard from him at all today. So, I'm hoping beyond hope he joins me, but I am so happy that my boy, PSG, asked to join the show, because right now I'll be sitting there talking to myself. So let's get to Gray. PSG! What's up, Savage?
How's it going, man? I had to rearrange my computer and all that for the red side this time.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Doing good, man. How we doing today, bro?
Good, man. Good. I'm getting ready to head down after the show. I'm going to go do the Newport and Levy to the Bengals Now show Fox 19 puts on. So, like I said, Gabby was at my show yesterday for 2 hours. She's awesome, dude. If you guys could ever get her on Bengals and Brews, I highly recommend it. She is great. Get her on there, and like I said, I'm going to go down there It starts at 6 o'clock. So if anybody else wants to head down there and meet me down there, it's a good time. I know Cam Taylor-Britt's going to be down there. I think Orlando Brown is supposed to be down there this week. So you never know who's going to show up. So, and by the way, Chandler says you're looking very stellar there with the beard.
You know what? I was for years and years I've refused to do it, but I was told to grow a beard. Corey Dillon, Bruce, them on Bruce. Everybody just told me to do it. Corey Dillon even said, just give it a try. And I tell you what, I really didn't want to at first, but I tell you what, man, it's growing on me.
It looks good. It looks good.
I'm liking it, man. I'm liking it. And surprisingly, it's turning out really well for me right now. So, man, let's keep it going.
It's better than I can grow. This is why I just grow this. This is all I can grow.
Well, I had a couple people tell me, like, Greg, for you, like, I one friend of mine tell me, Greg, I've tried to go over here for years and it can never work out for me. And you forever have shaved your whole life. And now and you're finally growing a beard and it goes perfect on you. So
exactly.
So you know what, man? I'll keep it going. Like the mullet's gone, so now the beard's going.
Fear the beard is all I have to say. Fear the beard.
That apparently wasn't enough though Sunday, but hey, I'm still.
No. I mean, we can talk. We're going to talk some Reds here. We can talk a little Bengals here real quick. Now, one thing I want to get your opinion on this, Greg. And you got the talking heads like Chris Canty and Shannon Sharp and all these guys sitting there saying, "Wow, Joe Burrow's not elite. Joe Burrow's this." I'm like, if you think any of these games, especially the last 4 games where we've scored over 30 freaking points. Last week he threw for 5 touchdowns, over 390 yards. If you think that's not elite, you don't know football,
buddy. Joe Burrow is the MVP right now.
Thank you.
The reason why he's not going to win because of our record,
right? Hey, it's not over. We can go to 10-game winning streak, Greg. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know.
Like I say, I try to be positive, but let's face it, defense needs to step up. There's just no way going around it. But Joe Burrow, he's saying all the right stuff in interviews. Hey, I should have done better on this. You can't ask Joe Burrow. I'm sorry that Joe Burrow played 99% good. I'm sorry, if you want to call it that or anything, but it's not Joe's fault. I was even talking to my friends in the stands. Even before Burrow threw an interception, like if Burrow throws an interception here, this is not his fault or anything. There is no excuse. You're up 10 points twice. Defense did not one stop. That's all we need. The defense just needed one stop. And the defense, I thought, played fairly well in the first half.
The running, especially the run defense. I mean, Henry really only got off that last run, that last one that sealed it. That's the only one he got off on. And the thing is, Greg, it's like you just said, just one free. They don't even have to play great. If they can play average, which Sheldon Rankins is at practice today, so that's good news. But we lost Dax Hill now, who I think honestly has been the most consistent cover DB we've had this year. So that's going to hurt us. I mean, the thing that is surprising to me, Greg, is the secondary of how bad they've been. And we are not getting any pressure whatsoever on the quarterback. That we are not.
Buddy, Jesse Bates. I mean, we were all like, hey, look, we can replace Bates. It just goes to show you. You can't let your top-notch players. I mean, I learned a valuable lesson with that, We all knew that was going to happen, but Jeff, if there's any point in the game that just drove me nuts the most, God gave us a gift. Lamar fumbled that ball in overtime. God gave us a gift. Everybody and their grandmother knew we were going to run the ball 3 times. I mean, there was one play, man. It was like a goal line formation, both sides, and Chase is one-on-one. Hey, why not do a fake handoff? You throw that ball to Chase and he jukes that guy, which he would all the time. That's a walk-in touchdown. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're taking Jeff, that's like in the Bearcat days. You're taking the ball out of Kenyon Martin's hands, or taking the ball to Steve Logan's hands, or taking the ball to Michael Jordan's hand. That San Francisco game, even though we made the Super Bowl that year, remember we took the ball to Joe Burrow's hands in that overtime game that we lost? Mm-hmm. Just made no sense to me. I mean, like I say, I will always be positive, but I understand a lot of fans' frustrations now.
You can be positive, but you can be
right.
I like to be critical about him, which I try. I try not to be over the top. Where we got to fire this guy, we got to fire that guy. I got in a conversation with a guy at work, and he's still telling me that it's Zach Taylor's fault and it's the offense's fault. I'm like, how? He said, we're not taking the top off the defense. I'm like, yes, we did. They had 2 deep balls to Jamar. I said they scored 38 points. What are they supposed to do? I said, this isn't the offense. I was like you're talking, you got to make one freaking stop. And the thing that drives me nuts, Greg, if the punter just catches the ball and puts it down, it's tie game. We don't even have this conversation. It's
I still like Lou Anarumo. Lou's a good guy, but I'm telling you this.
Sorry.
I'm going to tell you this. Robert Saley, though. I mean, like I say, I hope Lou gets it together. I'm still pulling for Lou, but I'm just saying, you got someone like Robert Saley out there right now. Why not give him a Hugh Jackson type of role? Make him your secretary or something right now. Just get him in the building right now or something. I don't know. But here's the thing of it is, I guess that you just got to say, Burrow's Burrow's at the prime of his career, and this is just wasting away right now. But the good news is, here's the good news. The AFC is so bad. I think fans are just ignoring. The AFC is bad right now. Like the Chiefs, I know are 5-0, but after that, we're only one game out of the wild card right now. It's not like we're written off easily. I mean, I think our defense get together. The Giants, now here's the thing. Against the teams we're supposed to beat, we don't do too well. I wish we were playing the Bills and all these other good teams we tend to go neck and neck with. Right. But the thing of it is, as bad as our record is right now, Jeff, we're only a game out of the wild card spot.
I know that's what's crazy about it. People always like, oh, you're just trying to look at everything positive. Like, that's the actual truth. I mean, that's not trying to make stuff up. That's the actual truth.
But no, the defense. I mean, you can't get up. There is no excuse when your offense scores 130 points per game. You're averaging over 30 points a game. No excuse at all. You should win all
exactly.
those games.
Exactly. And that's what I've said. Is there's no excuse. Sorry, I'm trying to see if Cram's message back. But yeah, there is no excuse. Your team averages 4 games in a row over 30 points. And Greg, how many times have we talked about this? Going to the Super Bowl run, going to the AFC Championship game. Like, our offense was not doing this. They weren't averaging 30 points. They always thought they should have, and the defense carried us. Well, now it's where the offense has got to carry them, which the offense is, but the defense got to do something. And what I don't, and I'm not trying to harp on you. I don't like the point where people are like, we're wasting Joe Burrow's year. So far, this year has not gone the way we wanted to. The whole thing, we're wasting Joe Burrow's career, which is bullcrap. I mean, the 2 years he's 2 years he's been healthy, went to the Super Bowl and the AFC Championship game. So that's not wasted years. The other 2 years he got hurt. So and then this year we'll see how it goes. I just don't like that narrative. We're wasting Joe Burrow's talent. Like, when he's healthy, we've been very good. So I just want to put, and it's nothing against you. I'm not saying
no, Jeff. To each his own.
Yeah,
everyone has a right to their own opinion. That's fine. Everybody has a right to their own opinion. I'm cool with that.
So, but I mean, the thing is, and the crazy thing is, this team can, if they get 1 or 2 more stops a game, they can ride off 10 in a row. They could.
Yeah. Jeff, I'm just scared. I'm not thinking this now, but I'm just saying, I don't want this to eventually become into another Carson Palmer series.
Yeah, no, I'm completely with you. And let's go back to the Jesse Bates point. And I never was like, okay, well, we'll just replace him. I'm like, it's kind of how I feel about T. Higgins. You can't replace T. Higgins. I want them to sign him. They're not going to. There's nothing I can do about it. So I kind of like, okay, that's the way it is. I hope they, get the right guy in place of him. And that's what I thought with Jesse Bates. They drafted Dax Hill. That didn't work. They got Jordan Battle. So far, that hasn't worked. We got 5 safeties on this team.
Yeah.
None of them are playing any good. I mean, that's probably the worst position on the freaking team. So and that's part. And does this go back? And people want to blame Lou. They want to blame Zach. I blame the setup of the defense. Excuse me. The guys we got. Geno Stone has not been anywhere close to what we thought he'd be. Von Bell has not been anywhere close to what he was when he was here last time. Those are 2 key, our big offseason acquisitions. We're like, all right, Geno Stone, we know he couldn't tackle, but he's a ball hawk. Well, he's only had like 1 time where I saw he almost got an interception. I think that was the first game of the year.
Now,
that's evaluation. Is that on Duke Tobin or scouting staff or however you want to look at it?
Now, here's another way of looking at it. From this could have easily happened. Maybe the Bengals were trying to get Jesse Bates, but then you get a phone call from Orlando Brown saying, I want to come here. I'm sorry. I mean, like, if I had to do it all over again, I would still take Orlando Brown. Brown, Burrow finally has a blind side. Hey, you take the blind side over the safety stuff. But don't get me wrong, I wish we still had Bates back. But I guarantee you, I'm sure they were making a strong push to get Bates back. But I'm sorry, when you got Orlando Brown giving you a phone call now saying, I want to come play here, you tell me which one you pick.
You have to get Orlando Brown. You have to protect Jackpot Joey. And the thing is, hey, the offensive line has been playing great. Amarius Mims is awesome. This offensive line's been awesome.
That's why we're so frustrated. And look at the tight ends. The best tight end situation we've ever been in. I mean, Eric All. Oh my God, man! I mean, I think his spine is fine when he got flipped over. I think his spine is fine. I mean him and Gasecki's not even playing that much. Drew Sample's playing well, but Eric All we hit a home run with Eric All. I mean, like I say, our offense is finally clicking. In the running backs, Moss and Brown. Oh my gosh, just a perfect combination. Mm-hmm. The reason, in my opinion, why fans are so frustrated, we finally got our offensive line fixed, but the other line of the ball.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. That kind of those are some great points you just made there because I'm talking about talent evaluation. Well, talent evaluation on the offense side has been great. All Zach Moss, Chase Brown, these guys that they drafted and signed, have been great. The defensive side of the ball, and like I said, I don't want to sit there and say that these guys are washed. I especially Stone. We just got him. I have a hard time. Bell, he's getting older. I think maybe he's lost a step or two. I don't know. But the thing is, I'll look at it this way. We get Sheldon Rankins back, we'll have our entire defensive line back. And when we had them all together, because we haven't had, this will be the first game we've had all of them, because McKinley Jackson was back too. Actually, I know he only had like 9 snaps, but still, he's the guy they were counting on. But this will be the first time we've had all of them back for the most part since Kansas City. And Kansas City, we should have intercepted Mahomes 3 times. We sacked him at least twice, if I remember right. Our defense played really well, so hopefully maybe Sheldon Rankins makes the difference, that big of a difference on this defensive line.
And statistically, Pat Mahomes is not playing that well.
Right.
But hey, when you got the refs, I know, don't blame the refs, but I'm just saying, Joe Burrow's the MVP. I mean, he's not going to get because of the record, and that's not fair in my opinion, but I understand the whole concept of it. But yeah, bottom line is, look, I mean, there's still hope. I mean, like I say, I'm always going to be positive. We're always going to watch I'm always going to be a Bengals fan no matter what. But don't get me wrong. I am frustrated right now because of the talent we have on this team. But like I say, I'm not going to go on a rampage. But this team needs to get better, and I do feel they are going to get better.
I hope so. That's the thing. It's like I don't know on the defense. I just don't know, and this is me. I'm Mr. Positive. I hope they do, because they're going to have to, or we're going to be in trouble.
I totally understand though fans' frustration. I mean,
I get it. I mean, trust me.
If you said you don't, then
I was as frustrated as anybody. I was so frustrated, depressed walking out of that stadium.
Absolutely, I was. Thank the Lord the Reds got Francona. That's all I can say.
Let's talk about that.
I was going to say.
Let's talk a little Reds here.
Well,
unfortunately, I guess it doesn't look like I guess maybe Graham is out working hard, and he I don't know. He's not answering me now, so maybe which is not like him. He's usually pretty prompt, so I'm sure something has come up.
Right.
That hopefully nothing bad. But we'll hopefully he'll come on while we're still on here. But yes, Terry Francona, Greg, I was. Like, he was tippy top of my list for manager. I had no realm. I thought there was no realm of possibility he was going to come here. I didn't think the Reds would pay him enough. I didn't think they would convince him that they have a plan. Now I know he said he hasn't talked to him about it. I don't believe that. I don't think you come to a team if you're Terry Francona that you don't discuss what your plan is.
Right. Here's this one analyst said it the best. The Reds did not interview Francona. Francona interviewed the Reds.
Right.
Point. When he did his interview, he said, "Look, it never came up about me wanting my own players. I guarantee you."
Yeah, I don't.
Because
they talked for 5 hours. They had to have some kind of conversation.
Yeah, there was some type of conversation.
Yeah,
but like Francona, he's a Hall of Fame manager.
Oh,
There's no doubt in my mind. He's in the Hall of Fame. For him to come to the Reds. I give the Reds credit. The Reds are like, look, we're serious here. And I'll put it this way. So I wake up like at 2 or 3 in the morning, and I see something you posted on Facebook. Reds hire Francona. What's your take? I'm like, okay, this is probably just Jeff's opinion or something. I'm like, I go to Reds.com. I'm like, holy crap! Like, oh my god! Like, what did I just? Oh my god! And like, I couldn't believe it. Like, dude, that 2004 Red Sox team. It was made into a movie, Fever Pitch.
Yeah.
That was the best postseason ever. The Curse of the Bambino, 86 years. They were down 3 games to none against the Yankees. Everybody was writing them off. Come back, win the series 4-3, and sweep the Cardinals in the World Series. That was you could argue, Jeff, that was the best postseason of all time, maybe in any sport.
Best postseason run. Yeah, because nobody come back from 3 games to.
No. And with the curse going on like that, absolutely not. I mean, look where, like with Cleveland. What's funny is I went on a Cleveland. I was watching a Cleveland show, and they're happy for the Reds, but a lot of fans called Terry Francona a traitor. I'm like, he's a traitor. You guys are in the You guys are in the playoffs right now. He left you guys just fine. I mean,
which that honestly, I'm fine. That's cool because I like the little rivalry thing we got going with the Guardians. They calling saying Cincinnati's in Kentucky. I'm like, all right. Checkmate. We just got your manager. So there you go.
Right, no, exactly. Like I say, he could have had his list of teams he wanted to pick.
Oh yeah, he could have went anywhere.
Like he could have picked anywhere he wanted to go and all that. So
I seen a lot of St. Louis fans upset that we got him and they didn't. So that which also makes me happy. So I got to tell you my finding out about. I was watching Fox 19, and it happened to be Gabby Sortino was on doing the sports report, and they put it out there. It was just a real quick. Yeah, the Reds. So look at the Reds going to hire Terry Francona, and my wife's in the bedroom. I'm going, Jen, the Reds hired Terry Francona. She's like, who? I said he's a really good Reds manager. I'm very happy. I was like, yes.
Oh man, no. Like I say, and you know, and other good news. Because I thought is Derek Johnson going to stay? He is staying. It was awesome because he is very well respected. But the hitting.
Well, you were talking about, you heard something about somebody possibility for the hitting coach.
No. Someone said on Twitter, Kevin Youkilis interviewed for the Cleveland hitting coach, and he didn't get it. They settled with somebody else. So that's something to keep an eye on. I mean, come on. Kevin Youkilis, hometown
kid. Yeah.
Hometown guy. And Bill James from the Moneyball, no. Somebody who in the Moneyball maybe called him the Greek god of walks. So maybe he could hopefully he could teach Ellie to be more patient at the plate sometimes. Because if Ellie gets on base,
that's gone.
That's a run right there.
Exactly.
With the walk right there. So, yeah, no, if we got, I mean, like I say, I trust who Terry hires. I'm not going to question anything.
Absolutely. Now, one thing I want to ask your opinion on what you think the Reds should do in this offseason. For me, I don't think it has to be a ton of stuff. But one of the biggest things is a right-handed, preferably right fielder, power bats. I think we need that in the line. I mean, Juan Soto would be awesome. I don't think that's going to happen whatsoever. But somebody like that, some caliber of a guy like that, along with adding some pitching depth to this team. I don't think we need. I don't think we need a ton. We need health for sure. Good.
I don't think it's going to happen. But my coworker, who's a big Reds fan, also, who's the guy for the Mets? I think he's
Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso went to college with Jonathan India, and apparently India's trying to get him to come over here. That's great. Dude's 29 years old. He's a free agent. That dude is going to be commanding.
And we have 5 guys on this team right now that can play first base.
Right.
5. I'm like, Pete Alonso would be great, but we have 5 freak. I mean, you got Frank, Fritz, whatever his name is, CES, India. They're saying he can play second steer. Jamer Candelario. You got 5 guys that already play. So that's what I'm like, yeah, that would be cool and all. We don't need another first baseman. I mean, we need an outfielder. We need somebody in the outfield. That's what we need.
Yeah, but like I say, give me another bat. I mean, pitching. Yes. Look, hey, like Pete Rose said, if you have pitching, get more pitching.
Yeah, exactly. You never have enough pitching ever.
We have a loaded pitching staff, but you see what injuries. I wanted to trade Jonathan India last year. I'm like, dude, we have no room for him. Look what happens with McLean. Exactly. Right. I mean, look what happens with McLean and Marte. Unfortunately, hopefully Marte comes back better than he was last year. But like I say, you need depth in baseball, especially in baseball. You need depth. I mean, in any sport you need depth. But if some team came up and offered me a big trade, I'd be really hesitant to do it because we got too much of a loaded young talented team right now. I mean,
it depends on who they're offering.
Yeah, it depends on what the offer is. But if like someone came in and said, "We'll give you this one player for Hunter Green, Chase Burns, and Rhett Lauder," like,
nope, absolutely not. I don't even care who that is. I would not trade any of those guys. Now, the one interesting thing me and all my coworkers were talking about last night at work, I think it's interesting that they're talking about trying out Matt McLean in the outfield, which when he was at UCLA, he did play the outfield.
Yeah.
I just don't. That kind of scares me a little bit because I'm like, we need an outfielder, but we need a power hitting outfielder. We don't need Matt McLean in the outfield. I mean, that's where we already. I don't know. I don't understand that move because then who's playing second? Because Matt McLean's our best second baseman. If he's healthy, he's our best defensive second baseman. Him and Ellie, that's our best double hit play combination defensively right now that can play on this team. I want those two at short and second. I mean, you got India and Steer. That's about it. So why would you move your guy who's second base? Why would you move him out the outfield? I don't get that.
Let's get Jesse Winker back. He's playing really good right now. Dude, did you see that home run he hit?
I did.
I mean, no, I'm just kidding. I'm happy for him. But what was interesting is what I think I read somewhere. Francona, and this is what needs to happen. I know Great American Ballpark is a home run hitting ballpark. We need to start getting line drive base hits more, right? And that's what they're going to try to do. Get the line drives. In my opinion, okay, say if you're up 4-0, you give up a home run with nobody on. It's only one run.
Who cares?
You get a bunch of line drives. That's going to get you more nervous. You get a bunch of line drive to line drive. That's where you're like, oh my God, this is like I just gave 3 or 4 runs right here. I mean, is it fair to say home runs can be overrated sometimes?
It depends on the moment, but yeah.
But yeah, no.
A solo shot could be, I mean, Chris Welch says a solo shot could be an inning killer sometimes.
Okay, I'll put it to you this way. If I had bases loaded with 2 outs and I'm up by 1 run, I'm facing between Derek Jeter and Barry Bonds. I'd rather face Barry Bonds because I have a better chance of striking him out than Derek Jeter. I mean, I'd
walk them both.
I don't want to face Barry Bonds, but I would take my chances on Bonds even more. Or I'll do you one better: Barry Larkin or Adam Dunn. I mean,
Adam Dunn. Yeah, Adam Dunn.
That's
for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely not want to face slow. Yeah, like I say,
nothing gets you Dunner, but Lark doesn't strike out.
yeah, exactly.
Now, the one thing you talk about line drives, and it just brought me back to who was a really good line drive hitter back in his day, Kevin Youkilis. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, like I said, someone called him the Greek god of walks. One of the A's, the assistant A's general manager, who was with Billy Beane, called him the Greek god of walks. So they said he walked almost just as much as Barry Bonds did. So, like I say, if you can teach Ellie to get on base by walks, that's it. That's a run right there, pretty much. Right. To get Ellie on base is a run. Exactly. So, yeah.
Now, Brad said he was glad that they said they had no interest in moving Ellie to shortstop. I'll put it this way. I'll say for now, because I'll tell you this, and I do think eventually Ellie will be moved to the outfield because Arroyo is not going to be up this year. He missed almost a whole year of baseball. He hasn't been above, I think, Double-A. He is a better defensive shortstop. I think he is the future shortstop in waiting. So I don't think it's going to happen this next year. Maybe 2026, maybe. But that's where so I think Ellie's going to be a shortstop this year. The thing is, like, Greg, I keep thinking of this. And I know the guys from Locked On Reds do not want to move Ellie to the outfield whatsoever. But just say if Arroyo is as good of a defensive shortstop as we think he is, you have McLean at second, and you have Ellie in center field. That's Gold Gloves caliber, athleticism, speed, everything you want right now. That's what I keep there. But go ahead.
No, and like I say, you mentioned all those. The one player I was excited for so badly last year was Marte. Marte was the one I was so excited for more than McLean. Well, Ellie's always going to be number one, but Ellie. But I mean, Marte. When I found out I was so disappointed to find out when he got suspended, and when he came back. And he was out for a while, but near the end he did pretty well. But I'm very interested to see how he comes back this year because Marte I had a lot of high hopes for last year. So you got to think of it this way: you have McLean. Your second best player behind Ellie was McLean. McLean was gone for the whole year. Marte, in my opinion, was your third best player. So we still had a loaded roster. And so Matt, you're getting Matt McLean back. You're getting this, and in a way, Jeff. I mean, you really don't need to make that big of a move, but if you can, go for it. Yeah. But I mean,
you do need a right-handed bat, even with those guys in there.
But you know what? I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and he made a good point. Is a Terry Francona is that the only thing they're going to do to get the fans excited, and that's it? Because
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Because, like I say, I guarantee you, Francona is like, I have high expectations. I want to. This is what I want, and all that and stuff. I guarantee you. For him to take the job, they had to tell Terry.
They had to.
Yeah.
I agree with what Brad said there. He said they brought Marte back too soon, but they had to. And I agree completely with that because he looked like he didn't have a spring training at all. And the thing is, and Joe Farsing doesn't like, he calls it hope. But you have talented players like the Reds do, and two of the three got hurt and were out for the year, and the other one just started to come around at the end of the year, but really never played like you thought he would. And the talent that we know they have, you have to have hope, and you have to have those guys out there. I'm talking about CES, I'm talking about Matt McLain, I'm talking about Marte. Those three, and we basically didn't have them this year. Marte played, the second half of the season, but it wasn't a factor. You get those three guys healthy and back. I'm telling you, I still believe Marte can hit you 30. CES can hit you 30. You get a power hitting right fielder, right-handed bat to hit in front of or behind CES, and then you got Ellie. Just put it. Say you have Ellie, either like in the 2-hole. Put him at 2, which I'm kind of curious when Matt McLain comes back, because I really like Matt McLain hitting second, but we'll see. Just say TJ Friedo, Matt McLain 1, 2, Ellie 3. Then your power hitting right fielder, right-handed bat 4, CES 5, Marte 6. Dude, I mean, and they play like. And the thing is, I don't like the word hope. It's not hope. I know they can play good. Then they're like, how do you? He keeps asking me, well, we've only seen CS for a little while. I know, but the little bit I saw, the dude could play. The little bit we saw from Marte, the dude could play.
Yeah,
we know McLain can play. We know it's not. To me, it's not hope. You know they can play. Will they do it? I don't know. It's just like when you every year, like Jimmy Candelario, we brought him in here, thought he was going to be do what he normally done. He didn't. It happened. So I mean, for you to people to sit there and say like, well, we can't have these guys that we hope play good. That's every year. You always hope they play good. You don't know if they're going to or not.
No, you can't always rely on that, man. Baseball can be so tricky, man. I mean, it's just who's playing hot, who's not, and all that. I mean, that's just simply how it is. But here, money-wise, two good things to look at. Griffey off the books.
Yep,
Votto off the books. Mm-hmm. You finally got some money to spend. There's money to spend. Just be careful how you spend it. I mean, at the time we got Joey Votto signed to that big contract. So Jeff, like we signed Votto with Seinfeld. I remember a friend of mine was like all ticked off when we gave him those big contracts. I'm like, dude, at the time they signed, you were happy as hell when they did. Because you see some, because I think I remember seeing some fans on Twitter saying, "Oh, why did we do this? That was stupid." I'm like, y'all were happy at the time we did it. I mean, it's just. I
was happy because I also thought they were going to sign other guys like Brandon Phillips, Jay Bruce. I thought they were continuing to do that. Now, honestly, if you look at that team, the one guy who deserved that contract was Joey Votto, because the rest of them were gone before Joey was, and Joey was still playing at an MVP level for the next 7 years or more. So he was all on that deserved it. Now, that brings me to this thing that I've had conversation with some of my friends about is Ellie. I would love to sign him.
He's good enough.
Scott Boras, people are like, sign him now. Scott Boras is his agent. Scott Boras never lets his guys sign early. He wants to maximize their worth, which that's what he's supposed to do. That's his job. Ellie, by the time he's a free agent, in my opinion, is going to be the best player in baseball. He's going to be the highest paid player in baseball. I don't think the Reds are going to be able to sign him. With that being said, that's why I think the alarm went off in the Castellini's head going, we only got another, 4 or 5 years left of Ellie. Let's get rid of Bell. We got to do something. Because, I did not think they were going to fire Bell because they just signed a contract extension last year. Well, but to me, that's the alarm going off their head. Their window to win is short. Now, the Bengals' window to win is, like you said, Joe Burrow's entire career. We're going to have him forever. I would love to say we're going to have Ellie for the rest of his career. I don't think we're going to. It's completely different situations because of the way the contracts are in MLB. That's why I think one of the biggest reasons they made this move.
Well, and going to this right now, Jeff, he could easily be the first $1 billion player paid. The way how money's going up in baseball right now, I think Bryce Harper's $500 million. Maybe not $1 billion, but damn well close.
Close, yeah.
Very close. Some team is gonna just give him an offer where it's like, holy crap.
The Dodgers and Yankees just outspend everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Funny. And that's, just that just.
And the thing is, I don't blame these players.
No, you can't blame them.
Dude, if you or I could do it, we do the same damn thing.
Right. Okay. You look at college football. I remember when Nick Bosa for Ohio State got hurt, and he was healthy enough to come back for the last couple of games, and he chose not to because he didn't want to hurt his draft stock. All the Ohio State fans I talked to were like, "Oh, if that was me, I would have played it out. I'm like, dude,
no, you wouldn't have.
You're risking millions of dollars. Yeah. I don't blame him one bit for what he did.
Unless you're going for a championship, unless it's a championship game, then yeah, you play. Right. But if it's just a regular bowl game, no. I've said that.
Well, they were going for a championship, I think. So
no, it wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't. I remember because I'm like, I don't blame them. I wouldn't do it either. They lost a game they shouldn't have lost that year.
Yeah,
if they didn't lose it, they would have been going for it, but they lost one game.
Right. So. No, I cannot blame Ellie at all. You mean because I was that fan. I'm like, oh man, if that was me, come on, the hometown. Like Nick Castellanos, you saw what happened to him. Reds didn't even call him and say, hey man, we just can't sign you. And
call him.
I get there's a business side to all
this. At least call the guy and tell him.
At least call him and say, hey, look,
yeah,
we appreciate for what you've done here for us, but maybe I don't know how business works. Maybe that just doesn't work that way. But I'm like, what he did to the city, how much the city left him, he was so hurt that the Reds didn't even call.
I love the Castellanos. That's why, so I'll bring it to this question from Hunter. He said, are we going for the Royals-Mets World Series? I'm rooting for the Phillies because I love Nick Castellanos, and they got our hometown boy from Middletown. Why can't I never say his name?
I've been so off on baseball this year, but like I said, I'm just excited.
Anyway, the kid, everybody knows what I'm talking about. I can't think of his name. So I'm more going for the Phillies. And actually, the funny thing is, the baseball playoff, not the funny thing is, the baseball playoffs are fun to watch. And I've been watching them, especially Sunday night. After the game, I didn't want to watch any football. I didn't watch any football. I started watching the baseball playoffs. I want to be a part of that. Yeah. I'm like, all right, Greg, so I've said this before. When I was a kid, and if they had the playoffs set up like they do now, from 1985 to 1988, the Reds would have been in the playoffs every year. They finished second every year in the West. We know what happened in 89. 90, they won the World Series. 91 wasn't a very good year. 92, they would have made the playoffs. 93, they wouldn't have made the playoffs. 94, the strike year. 95, they did make the playoffs. So basically, for 10 years, from 85 to 95, the Reds would have been in the playoffs almost every year if they had the playoffs the way they are now. That's how good these teams were. That's how God love Mark. You say what you want about Mark Shaw, but she consistently gave us a competitive ball club. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
At least, look, I want to win the World Series, don't get me wrong, but you got to at least get to the playoffs. You got to at least be competitive on a consistent basis.
Cardinals for 22 years, from 2000 to 2023, consistent.
Yeah, it drive me nuts.
It just drove me nuts. I mean, I hated the Cardinals because I was jealous of them.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I mean, Albert Pujols, man, oh my gosh.
They let him go, and then they turn around, and I think they win the World Series.
Or they I guarantee you half the fans what the hell's going on here? A bunch of fans have been like, what the hell's going on? And you never question what they do.
They change managers, change players, and they still go to the playoffs, and they won. They won 2 World Series here. It's since our last one was 1990, and that's the thing. And they're not a big market TV or big market team, so that's where I get tired of this. Well, it's small market. It's like, no, you can do it.
Yeah,
the freaking Royals are in the playoffs this year.
You're going to get me started with Phil Castellini again. I'm still.
Shh, calm down, Greg.
I think in my heart, that will always tip me off.
It's hard not to.
It's hard not to, and all that. But I'm always if he comes out and says, so far he made a good move right now, but you got to still be proven to me. But like I say, to me as a blue collar worker in Cincinnati, that is an insult to the hardworking people of Cincinnati who can barely afford to buy tickets. Mm-hmm. Saying where you're going to go, be happy with what you got. I understand. It was probably telling the truth, but maybe, like I say, maybe this is just me. I would never in my life ever want to settle for, even if I know it's not true, I would do everything in my power to make sure I can put a winning ball club out there.
Why are you going to own it?
If you're, and this is right when the Bengals just barely lost the Super Bowl. And I'm like, you got a lot of guts for saying that. When fans that opening day, I was amazed to see how many fans were wearing Reds gear opening day. It shows you how loyal they are. And now you still have the guts to say that to the fans?
This is a huge sports night. And it's still, to me, the Reds, because of their history, hold a certain piece of Cincinnati's heart. Now, that I'll put it this way, that's the way it is for older guys like me, because we were around, which I was barely around for the Big Red Machine, but I was.
Well, no,
Pete Rose, Johnny Mitchell, all that stuff. Now, with the younger generation like my son, he's never seen the Reds win a playoff series, ever.
No.
Ever. So it's you still have the traditions of opening day, but you don't have I can remember the Reds winning. I know I've seen them win a World Series. I can remember that. That's the thing is these younger generations, they don't know that.
Well, yeah, because I feel like at the Reds. Okay, Jeff, I remember last time I was in '75. I think that's the year we were born. I'm not going to say how long ago that was. I don't want to make you feel. Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's 49 years ago. I'll be 50 in April.
I'm just saying, the younger generation. I mean, you look at the Bengals right now. They're going after that younger generation because they know the older generation still lives by the 90s. They're going after the younger generation, which is smart to do. The Reds do the complete opposite. When you go there, it's so cool. I love how the Reds honor their players. Yeah. They do an amazing job. They show cool history stats. I love the Reds' history. Growing up as a kid, I loved watching the documentaries. I love going through the Reds Hall of Fame, admiring. You look at all the Reds players that I still support here. The Big Red Machine. I love collecting all that memorabilia. I am so happy I get to see that. But the thing of it is, what about now?
The thing is, dude, these guys, and we get in this with talking about Pete Rose. Pete Rose, they're getting older. I mean, Joe of the Big Red Machine, Joe Morgan's gone now. Pete Rose is gone. You know, they're in their 80s. The thing is, like I said, 75, 76 was almost 50 years ago. It's a long damn time. 1990 was over 30 years ago. Right. I mean, it's been so. And I'm with you. I love the history. I do.
Oh my gosh!
But I want to win now. I would love my son to see them win a playoff game, win a playoff series, win a World Series, be a consistent winner that I grew up with. That made me love the Reds, and it wasn't I love because they won, but it helps. It's more fun when you win. Like Pete Rose said, it's fun to win. You want to win. That's why you play the game. That's why you own a team. You want to win. Be like Pete Rose. Go win. That's what I hope they do this offseason.
Well, my uncle's been a diehard Reds fan. I mean, me and my uncle, we're planning on going. We've been to Reds Fest the last couple of years. We're definitely probably going again this year.
They're not having it this year.
My uncle is just
Greg. They're not having it this year.
Why not?
Because the convention center is under construction.
Oh.
Yeah. Unless they decide to, but that's why everybody said go last year because they'd skip it a year. I don't know why they won't put it somewhere else. I mean there's other places you can do it.
You mean to tell me you can't find another place?
Yeah, I mean there's a convention center I think in Covington. There's something out in Sharonville.
There's one in Louisville where they do a grounds convention every year. I'll drive down to Louisville if I have to.
I wouldn't go that far, but there's places around. Hell, go have it down at US Bank Arena. There's other places.
Dude, Jeff, I can do it. Dude, now you just put me down.
I'm
gonna try to make calls to get tickets.
I mean, unless something changed, but last year they said they weren't going to do it this year. Now, like I said, I want to wrap this up with Pete Rose. Like I said to lots of times on the show since he's passed away, you can think about what you want Pete the man, but I always like, as a kid, I just saw him as Pete the player. And the thing about Pete Rose, he meant something to this city. Good, bad, different, whatever. He meant something. He strikes a nerve in this city when you're from here, you grew up here, you're born here. Pete Rose strikes a nerve usually in a positive way, most of the time. I mean, for me, like I say, Charlie Hustle, he's the reason we like grinders. He's the reason we like guys who get down and dirty and play. He's the reason that our fandom is like that. What's your thoughts on since you got him over your shoulder, what's your thoughts on Pete Rose?
4 letters right here. This is strictly on field. GOAT. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, you can make an argument that hit record, Jeff, will never be broken because players don't play hard like the way they used to. I thought Jeter had a shot, and if I hear one person say, "Oh, well, Ichiro combining what he did in the Japanese leagues," there are players that don't even make it down to the minors to play in the Japanese league. That does not count. That is for people that hate Pete Rose that just don't want him in the record books. I get off the field, obviously, off the field not good, but on the field. He's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, all right, you look at the betting. betting is a big part of Major League Baseball, right? I get at the time it was against the rules, but betting is a huge part of Major League Baseball. I mean, come on. It's like, but Pete Rose, that record will never be broken. There's not going to be a player that's going to play into his mid-40s. A lot of the average age for players to retire are like 35, 36. They don't. I mean, it's just that record will never be broken. Never.
Yeah, he was 45 years old. He played almost 19 years, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, guys don't play that long. Two, they don't play that many games. And the other thing is, he's won the most games as an individual player in Major League Baseball, and he's lost the most games. So that's how long he played, and they're just, it's not going to get. I don't think it's going to get touched. One, you have to, because one, they strike out too much. You have to consistently have 200 hits a year for 20 years.
Right.
To even come close, and then you still wouldn't get it if the math is right there.
No.
I mean, there's two records I don't think will ever be broke. That one, and I don't think the Cal Ripken the consecutive games play will ever be broken.
Oh, absolutely not.
I do think eventually we might get the DiMaggio one, maybe, but that was another one that might not because of the way the bullpens are now and everything. I really don't think it's going to get broken, but out of the three, that's the one I think has the best shot of being broken sometime.
Well, look at the home run record. You don't see that. I mean, like the most home runs. I mean, you're lucky to get to 45 home runs in a year, and like you're not going to see a 60 home run. I don't know if we'll ever see a 60 home run, but that has a better shot of being broken than the hits record. I mean, I thought Jeter was going to do it at one point, and I tell you this: if Jeter stayed and he played, I think Jeter could have broken the record, but. Jeter's like, look, I'm 38, 39, I'm done. And good for him. That's fine. I'm just saying, like you said, Pete Rose, I don't think we'll ever see a player ever again in their life play until in their 40s.
No. Well, I won't say ever, but it's not even that. It's the consistency. And people say this, that I don't think Pete was the greatest hitter to ever live. That's Ted Williams. You hit 401.
Yeah.
But he was the most consistent hitter ever.
Yeah, Ted Williams. That's another guy you just mentioned. I mean, there's a lot of guys. I'm just saying, Pete Rose.
401, we might not see that one either.
That is ridiculous. I mean, Ted Williams, you can argue, like I say, but Pete Rose, I'm not saying but you can make a total argument. He's one of the GOATs of all time.
And the thing that kills me, dude, is like, I've been thinking about him a lot here lately, and thinking back to 84, 85 when he came back to Cincinnati, and how he was, Greg, back then, he was the biggest star in baseball then. He was the man. He was the biggest star in baseball. He was everywhere. And it just kills me if he just hadn't done what he did, how different he would be thought of. He would be up there with Hank Aaron and Babe Ruth and Joe DiMaggio and Johnny Bench. He would be up there with these guys, and it just kills me. I mean. He did what he did. It's his own damn fault. He shouldn't have done it, but it just sucks.
But what's funny is, when I was a kid, I was just like, oh, he bet on his team to win. That meant he had confidence in his team. I mean, I understand the whole thing now, obviously, completely. That was wrong what he did. But at the time, I'm like, because there was never any evidence that he bet against his team.
Nope.
But I was always like, wow, that meant he had confidence in his team. But that's how I took it at first.
You can't tell me that guy, as competitive as he was betting on his team to lose. There's no way. There's no way.
That's it, right? I think
he'd rather die than do that.
Right. I think Johnny Bench did an interview one time. Pete was so addicted to winning. He wanted to win so badly. Like I say, that's just what drove him to it. I mean, that's just what drove him to do it. And like I say, he wasn't the most model citizen off the field. But like I say, if you judge what you do on the field, there's no – I mean, and I think he even said shortly before he passed away that I don't even know if he even said, if I pass away, I don't even know if I want – I don't think he even wants to be in the Hall of Fame because, he
doesn't care. He said he doesn't care that he doesn't get to enjoy it, which I at this point, that's kind of where I am. Screw you guys.
Yeah, because to me, and like what Pete said, that's a spit – in my opinion, that's a spit in the face to Pete.
Yeah. And the thing is, what people get wrong – is it's actually not a Major League Baseball decision. It's the Hall of Fame's decision. They're separate. They're separate from the Major League Baseball. They're their own entity. So they're the ones. The year after in '90, they made the rule that if you're on baseball's suspended list, you're not eligible. So the thing is, he can't even be put on the ballot. They can't talk about it. He can't do anything. So it's not. I mean, it's not. People go to Manfred. I don't know if it's necessarily Manfred. I mean, I think if he would talk to them about doing it, but it's their rule. So I'm like, I don't even know how much Major League Baseball has to do with it. I mean, now Manfred can put him back on the eligible list. That can happen. But as far as the rule to let them vote on him, that's Major League Baseball. Or actually, that's the Hall of Fame.
When you look at the year 2000 or 1999 when they did the All-Century team, he got voted in. I remember that All-Century team. He got voted in. He had the most cheers. It was in Atlanta because it was Braves-Yankees World Series. They did for the game. They did Johnny Bench. They did all the greats of all time. But when I'm telling you, Pete Rose, you go back and watch that. It went on for like 1 or 2 minutes. Fans were cheering him, so happy for him being in there. It's not just fans of Cincinnati. It's just fans all over loved Pete Rose. I mean,
and then Jim Gray went in and roasted him.
Oh my God! Don't get me started with that.
I still
why?
Because Jim Gray's an asshole.
Yeah,
look. Pete was still denying it then. That was not the time and place to freaking. Hey, is it now you want to admit it? Like, dude, he just got done. Shut up.
It's not the time. He's like, look, I'm having a good time here. You're bringing up something what happened. I mean, that was definitely not. Oh, dude, ever since then, I had no respect for.
Yeah, I'm not a Jim Gray fan. It just wasn't the right place to do it. I mean, let the man just enjoy it. Like you say what you want. It was baseball celebrating its greatest players of all time, and he was one of them. Let him. You don't have to bring this up everybody knows. You don't have to bring it up every freaking time. But it doesn't matter now. He's dead. So unfortunately. All right, Greg. Well, man, I thanks for coming off. Sorry, Graham didn't.
No worries at all.
Like I said, I don't know what happened, but I'm sure something definitely came up because honestly, he normally DMs me back pretty quick. So
no worries.
I will. We get the whole offseason. I'll get him. I'll try to get him back on again. But Greg, hey, plug Bengals and Brews and stuff before I let you go.
Yeah, catch us on Bengals and Brews. We're on Mondays and Fridays at 3:30, and hey, we're also sponsored by Midwest Best Barbecue.
You are
Cincinnati, and like I say, if you can catch us Mondays and Fridays at 3:30, and trust me, we'll make your day good, and we are motivated to see this Bengals team moving forward.
Exactly. All right, Greg. I'll talk to you later. Who day,
bro.
All right. Got her. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Like I said, my apologies. I don't know what happened with Graham. I did DM him Monday. Said, "Are we good?" I asked if we could move to 4:00 because I wanted to go to Bengals Now down here at the new part of Levy. So I'm sure something came up. I hope he's okay. And speaking of okay, the hurricane, it's going south of Tampa Bay where my family's at. They're still going to get hit. They're just not getting a direct hit. In general, keep people in Florida in your thoughts and prayers. It's still a big ass hurricane. It's Cat 4 now, I think. Maybe by the time we reach landfall, it might go down to Cat 3. Either way, it's still a big one. It's going to go straight through Orlando, all the way to cross to Daytona. That's why I don't understand why USC or UCF has not decided to cancel the game for the Bearcats Saturday night, or I don't know, move it up here. And people are like, "Oh, it doesn't work that way." I'm like, "Well, you've known this is coming for a week. You should have done it anyway." We'll see what happens. My thanks to, like Greg said, Midwest Best Barbecue and Creamery. If you have not been there yet, I always ask the same question: why the hell not? Get out there. Get you some Dillionaire wings, some CTB wings, some G-Funk. Tell Tim and Nicole Ice sent you. Also, the show is brought to you by Meyer Windows and Doors and more. That's what more was last night. He said sidings, gutters, whatever. But he said mostly windows and doors. So check them out at www.myerscincinnati.com for all your window and door needs. Also, my West Side peeps, go check out Hail Mary. It's your ticket to the game right in the heart of Cheviot. Big-ass TV screen, beer specials, food trucks. It's an awesome, awesome little place. And like I said, you guys got to get down to Tuesday nights at the Moreland Lager House. Live sports talk. Gabby Sorrentino was down there for 2 hours with us last night. She's from Fox 19. She's awesome. She did a great job. We had an absolute blast. We're down there drinking cheap beer. I mean, like I said, happy hour goes from 3 to 9. $2 off appetizers, $5 drafts, house wines, and well drinks. Come on down. You can't beat that deal. And I'd like to support. So just come on down and let's have some fun. We will be celebrating hopefully a Bengals win. I don't know. We'll see. Also, next home game, of the Bengals, please check out Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell Club at the Moorline Lager House. The pregame experience is 3 hours before every Bengals home game. Now, how do we get tickets? Go to Moorline Lager House social media stuff. Go to my social media stuff. Go to their website. There is a link there that has all the schedule, and you can click on the tickets. It's really easy. They're $75, people. That's it. If you're hanging out at the Banks and getting a couple drinks, you're going to spend $75 on 3 or 4 drinks. You go here, you got 3 hours, you have 20 drinks. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but you could do that. You got shrimp, they got chicken wings, sliders. It's a delicious spread. You can get mixed drinks, well drinks, like I said, all kind of delicious Moorline lager beer. Like I said, it's a hell of a deal. It's the best deal on the Banks, if you ask my opinion. So get on down to Mercedes-Benz at Fort Mitchell at Moorline Lager House, the pregame experience. It's an awesome, awesome experience. I thank them for letting me do it. Thanks for watching. I have a live streaming on ZTV, online, YouTube, X, Facebook, Twitch. You can follow me on all those, along with Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Tomorrow, who do I have on tomorrow? Let me see. I know I got Dale on this Friday. Tomorrow I have. I don't have anybody on tomorrow. So I gotta figure that out. Maybe I'll get Graham on tomorrow. That way for him to answer me. But I know I got Dale on Thursday. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. And that's just sports, baby. See ya!
They still gotta play us. Let's go, baby. Woo!
Hey, don't run that ball on the one Hubbard, showed you how that go down. Feeling like Santino, tell him we want all the smoke now. We ain't snooping that commercial, we don't put no smoke down. Plus we back and you can't hide, so it ain't nowhere safe to go now. We always gon' turn up in that jungle every time. How we ain't gon' win when we loaded in with 9? Plus T just came in signed, so the city gon' be fine. Jamar say he open every time and he ain't never lied. Look at how we win at it, the size of the old line. Giving Burrow extra time should be a federal crime. Hey, we right back on that path again. Put the division back to the test, they won't pass again. Orlando and Trent Brown, that's the Tower Twins. Feel like we only getting better as we stacking wins.
And we stacking.
Jaceki in for 6, that's a gritty again. AFC North battles getting gritty again. It's Yoshi second year, we just brought Burton in. Vaughn back to ring some bells, get the cracking again.